Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler platter series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about the stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie, it's a backroom review, and I do those sometimes. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my back room, which means we get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster back there. Good times. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be one of my Static X shirts. So I've got a few, but I really do like this one. I like all of them for different reasons, but this is actually off of their Machine Killer tour, which I got to see them perform at, which is super cool. They co-headline with a band called Seven Dust. Really awesome show. If you're unfamiliar with the band, by the way, they've been around since the mid-90s, sort of kind of industrial nu metal elements from that period. Really sort of took off with their first album, Wisconsin Death Trip, and they just kind of ran with it. Sadly, there was a bit of kind of turmoil within the band, and eventually they kind of split apart. And then even more sadly, after that, the lead singer ended up passing away far too young, Wayne Static. He's been gone for about 10 years ago at the time that I'm doing this, which really sucked. But if nothing else, it was, at least in my opinion, I think it was great that, the band reformed and sort of carried on the Static X name. So, but anyway, I've seen him perform live a number of times. I actually have videos of said performances. They're on the channel in case you want to check them out. If nothing else, folks, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, typically, if I'm doing a backroom review, that means that it was an item that required more prep than what was reasonable to do for my car. And that's the case today. Because, folks, at the time I'm doing this, it's still kind of relevant. I'm pushing the relevancy on this one, but I'm doing frozen pizza with a tie-in. It's boom! It is from Digiorno. It is their Marvel Studios Deadpool and Wolverine, only in theaters. Gimme Chimi frozen pizza, which consists of chimichanga-inspired pizza, topped with spicy cumin sauce, beef pizza topping, jalapeno, cheddar, and mozzarella cheeses. Sure. Now, I actually did review another one of these. I forget what it was off the top of my head, but it was something Wolvie. I don't remember. But yeah, okay, so it's a tie-in thing. Like I said, I am pushing the relevancy at the time I'm doing this. Deadpool and Wolverine is still in theaters, but it's definitely on its way out pretty soon, so I figured I'd tag it in. Why not? Plus, I like a tie-in pizza. The pizza itself looks like, boom, like that. It's very colorful. And let's go ahead. Let's try to get a thing for the thing. This is always a bit of a fun thing to try and do. One day I'm going to fail at it, but hopefully today is not that day. And we'll kind of do it like this. And we'll get the pizza. It's such a pain in the ass. Looks like this. We'll kind of... Sure. Ha 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 ha! Let's give it a go. Oh, yeah. All right, pizza. Ooh. I like this one. The other one was okay, but this one I definitely feel is a little bit more representative of Digiorno. Because, like, I reviewed plenty of frozen pizzas on the channel, and I eat plenty of frozen pizzas just in my daily life because I'm lazy like that. Digiorno, they're typically seen as being a little bit more of a premium brand as far as those are concerned, though I do feel like at this point, some of that has slipped a little bit. I know at least here in Illinois, we are one of the greatest lands of pizza ever. I don't care what anybody says. Fuck you, Jon Stewart. we have a lot of really great brands that are like specific, based off of like Illinois institutions, Geno's East and Home Run Inn and stuff. But dude, DiGiorno's is still up there. It's still good. Uh, One thing I did alter on this one versus the other one I did, they say cook it for 18 minutes. That's what I did with the last one. I personally felt a little bit overdone. A little bit overdone. This one, I took it out at 17 and a half. And I just let it sit on the pizza tray, kind of continue cooking just a little bit. And I think that worked out better personally. But no, I like this. It's very vibrant, like with all of the fresh veg and everything like that. Every bite is just like very flavorful. It's got a lot going on. Crust is nice, breaks away nice and easily. It's got almost a slight kind of buttery aspect to it. Not like a lot, but it's definitely a better crust than you're going to get from, like some Jack's pizza or some shit like that, your budget stuff. I also like that it's got a little heat to it. It's got a little oomph to it, and I like that. It's not crazy hot or anything, but it kind of tingles your tongue a little bit. I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, I think just overall, it's got a complexity and a level or and a sort of depth of flavor to things. The meatiness is nice. I'll say this, because it is supposed to be, chimichanga inspired. I kind of get where they're going with it. I like a chimichanga. It's kind of amazing I haven't reviewed one yet on the channel, considering how much I enjoy them. But it takes a little bit to kind of get to it. I think like multiple bites for you to, your taste buds to really sort of appreciate it. But there is something with the spice and the seasoning and the way that it works. It does have something of a reminiscent chimichanga taste. Obviously, you're not getting the full experience. You're not getting that, nice fried tortilla and stuff. But it's not a million miles off. Maybe 100,000. But there's at least some semblance of it. Yeah. Just in general, I really love the cumin sauce. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that because I'm trying to think of where the flavor itself is really coming from. Because the rest of it is just kind of general fruit and veg. The jalapeno is probably giving it a little bit of the heat. Maybe it's the cumin sauce that's kind of really giving it that extra chimichanga oomph. But I like it. That's actually pretty dang good. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, on occasion, and sure. And the only thing that somewhat hurts it is that what with the fact that Digiorno, again, they are sort of, quote unquote, like a premium kind of frozen pizza experience, it's going to cost you, You could probably get 2.5 Jack's pizzas for the price of this. And I will say, although it is more filled out as a pizza, you're definitely getting more as an experience. You're not getting 2.5 times more. And the reality is like, yeah, you can take a Jack's pizza, which isn't very impressive, but you can go over there, add on a little hot sauce, a little garlic salt or whatever. You can spiff it up yourself, and you get yourself, better tasting pizza. With this, you don't have to do that. The whole experience is really nice. It works well, but again, you are paying for that premium. So for me personally, would I get this with any regularity? No. It's good, but it's not good enough for that price. But it is one of those things where because it's not only pretty proper, I'm okay with, there's nothing about it I'm disliking, but it does have sort of a unique personality with the, again, that sort of chimichanga-esque kind of essence to it. I would be willing to go over there and get this again, once in a while. If I went over there, if I got myself, usually when I get like frozen pizzas, I'll get like 5 or 6 of them at a time because, it's relatively cheap. And then a lot of times I'll do like one proper one, like a more premium one. I'd be willing to have this be the premium one sometimes, not all the time. If I'm recommending it though, I mean, it's a tie-in thing, so of course it'll only be around for as long as the tie-in is. If you get the opportunity, I would say this one is worth it. The Wolverine one I personally felt was a little bit, but this one I feel like they actually went through. I think again the flavors match kind of what they're trying to do, and even beyond that, just the overall flavor is nice. So this is one where it's like, look, if you want to go over there and pay a little extra for the branding and stuff like that, at the very least you're getting a decent pizza out of it too, or just get a real pizza. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Give themselves a truly, I know what my lunch is, fantastic rest of your life. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, but what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. But, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. Sorry. Had a little bit of a hiccup / gassiness thing right there. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said assholes, just support we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, I still need to see Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine. I've heard really good things. I saw the first 2 Deadpool movies, but I'll be honest, it was almost under a certain amount of protest because I've never really liked Deadpool all that much. He's one of those characters where he's a bit too much. He's a bit too much, and he became too popular with it. And so for me, it's like, yeah, chimichanga, and it's a thing. It's kind of like Ash, from like the Evil Dead and stuff. Like I like Ash as a character. But he gets to be a bit much when, he goes from being like a cult character to like a big main thing, But at least in that case, it's, obviously Bruce Campbell to go over there and bring it. And not to say that Ryan Reynolds, doesn't bring Deadpool. So I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, bye.